wanted to pull out a few different blush palettes to compare the formulations. So if you have the My Dream Cheek Trio, it's time to get cheeky because in my hands, I have, wait, let me show you. The new Natasha Denona HyBlush Cloudy Cream Cheek Duo, and yes, I did receive this in PR. However, I ordered them and they came in the exact same delivery as the PR package, so I'm gonna have to do a giveaway. But anyways, today I am going to be swatching and trying on all 6 of the new shades of the Natasha Denona blush duos, and they look pretty beautiful. I'm very excited about this. While I say Natasha Denona, definitely the bread and butter is the eyeshadow palettes, she throws down some good cheek products, so I'm excited. That being said, more blushes. One, thank you. More blushes. It's exhausting, my poor cheeks. I only have 2 of them, but we have a new formula. We're gonna test these today. I really need to take those Christmas decorations down. Maybe I'll stop by Home Goods tonight. Let's go over the details of this. So you can get this on the Natasha Denona website or Sephora. It's available on both parts. I recommend personally ordering from Natasha Denona because this is how well packaged my own personal order came in. Like, these are not coming broken. Sephora, it's a little iffy. Well, you know what? These are cream. So order it from wherever you want. These are $42 each, but a reminder, you do get a blush and a highlight. And this is a unique cream blush and highlighter duo with a semi-matte finish for a natural, buildable, and long-lasting flush of colors. This formulation is a cream, but it kind of has like a powdery dry down as you blend it out, from what I felt, because they say it's a lightweight gel texture, but as you blend it out, it really thins out. You'll see when we get to the demos here. Trying to think of any other details that might be of importance to you. Not really. It's cheek innovation, as they say. Unique cream blush and highlighter. Clean, vegan, semi-matte, and balmy glow finishes. Nourishing ingredients to hydrate the skin, which honestly I think is very important for this time of year because my cheeks are dry. Very, very dry and scaly. So a formula like this is really good, and it's supposed to be a buildable flush of color. Not much really to say about blushes, so I'm going to go ahead and take you to the swatches because this is just a fair warning. My camera, while lovely, great, amazing, high-tech, expansive, does not catch pinks really well, so I'm going to put an overlay of my phone, and that's a little bit more true to color. So I'm going to swatch them on my phone. You'll take a look at them there. So here's the packaging the blush comes in, and then here is the back, which says made in Italy, 18-month shelf life. Now, the color of the packaging corresponds with the color. This is the lightest color in the collection. This is Sweet Cheeks. So this is the blush and this is the highlight. So it's a baby pink. You can see it's almost like a, I don't know how to describe this. You see it. You see it? It looks how it feels. And then an icy pastel pink highlight, which feels more like a cream as well. So both of these are cream. This one just has more of a matte feel to it. Almost like a putty cream hybrid. Because you see, as you blend in that blush, it almost turns into a powder. I feel like the highlights remaining pretty creamy, but they're very thin feeling, very silky. Again, this is Sweet Cheeks. Simply Shy is the next one. This is a light dusty coral blush with an icy light pink highlighter. This highlight feels drier. So this definitely has some more peach to it. The highlight seems pretty sheer, but I built it up and it seems pretty close to what Sweet Cheeks was. But again, this is Simply Shy. Fresh Mauve, which has a mauve blush and a glowy nude highlight, as they say. Oh, this one would be so pretty on medium skin tones. This is one of the ones that I picked for myself that I purchased, but I think that the highlight might have been not very highlighty on me, more of like a blush topper experience, but that's really, really pretty. Again, this is Fresh Mauve. This is for my bold blush lovers, Flirty Flush. So we have, they say this is a coral. I mean, it's very, very hot with a golden pink highlight. Oh, here we go. This is the blush. This is the highlight. Oh my gosh, if you have a deep complexion, these last two I think are going to be great options. Look at that. This highlight is so pretty. On my skin tone, it probably will work as a blush. We'll see the highlight I'm talking about. But again, Flirty Flush. Next, we have Flustered, which is an icy pink highlight and a pomegranate blush. That's what they're looking like. This blush has a ton of pigment, a lot of pop to it. And you'll see how that first layer of the highlight seems to be sheer, but it can be built up. Stunning. Just one more to go. This is the deepest one. Vamped is the name, with a mahogany blush and an icy peach highlight. We'll have to see the pigment on this one. Yeah, that definitely has the most depth here, and I think these do a good job of looking in pan how they do on swatch. So for the lineup, we have Sweet Cheeks, Simply Shy, Fresh Mauve, Flirty Flush, Flustered, and then Vamped. All of these are a lot more pinky and warm. It makes sense for the time of year, for the spring, summer, upcoming Valentine's Day. I wish there was more like nudes and brown-based kind of colors. Maybe some more neutral, cool tones, but I haven't put these on yet at the time that I'm filming this, so I'm excited to get these on. Let me know what you think. So we're going into Sweet Cheeks first. Now, for application, Natasha recommends to use a dense brush. I'm using the F4 from Makeup by Mario. Yeah, this is Sweet Cheeks, which is quite bright. Okay, let's see. Decent amount of pigment for this being the quote-unquote lightest shade. And it does have kind of a natural matte finish. Nothing balmy in this one, really. I think that this formulation is going to be good on a lot of different skin tones as well. You have, I would say, some versatility to really build this up if you want to get more vibrancy, but if you want to get it more sheer, it's possible as well. But that soaked into the skin, not in a bad way, just blended with my foundation really easily. I have on L'Oreal True Match today, which is like a really nice soft natural matte finish. And this is just working with that finish really beautifully. Easy to apply, super duper buildable, which is great news for my more melanated followers. Cute, very bright. I worry some of these are going to look similar on the cheeks. Now, the highlight is a thinner formulation, and I feel like it has less pigment. I don't know what brush I want to use. This is one from Kaleidos. I don't know if I'm going to like this with it. Oh, I think this one might need to be used with a finger. I'm not a cream highlight fan, as most of you guys know. I find the best way is with a finger, and I'm finding that right now as well. It's fine. It's not acting funky with any other product, really. And on my skin tone, there's no cast left with this one, which will be more important to note as we get to the deeper colors. It is catching to a little bit of dryness right here. I don't have any powder on my skin. The glow is pretty though. I want that to settle in a bit. Dare I say the blush looks a little patchy here? I'm just gonna reapply the finger. Sorry, I'm working through it verbally with you guys here. And she says also if you want even more vibrancy, more glowiness, you can then go back in with the blush over top. It's a bit extra for me, But I'm gonna go in with this highlight maybe. Oh, I actually like this flat side of this brush here to apply the highlight. Okay, that's pretty now that I've really blended it out and worked it into the skin, but I don't know if you can see. Oh gosh, am I about to get kicked off Natasha Denona's PR list as soon as I got added to it? Oh, then so be it if that's the case, but do you see it's just like a little clumpy right here? I'm gonna have to investigate that further. Luckily, we have like 5 more to try on to see if this was an application error or a product error. Or I just got crusty skin, which is true. So I think it's just my skin. We'll see, we'll see. Okay, so next let's move on to Simply Shy, which actually this one's kind of the lightest one, the most neutral one. I'm flipping the brush for Makeup by Mario. This one definitely has more peach to it. Oh, I so wish it had a little bit more neutralness to it. But these are working out beautifully on the skin and just combining, meshing, I guess is the word I'm looking for, with the foundation really naturally. It actually looks quite airbrushed. Wow, super easy blend out. I think this is a good cream option for oily skin as well. Okay, I do want to clear something up, that some of that chunkiness I'm attributing a lot to just what my skin is going through right now. I think it's just there. I don't think any product's going to help it. Okay, now let's try the highlight. I'm always nervous about using a brush to apply this. I think I like this side better. Something a little bit more dense. I don't know. As a cream highlight hater, I'm struggling with this highlight. This one in Simply Shy feels a little drier than Sweet Cheeks. Finger is the best, I've decided. Just slowly work it in and take your time. The glow is pretty, but you'd catch me just using a powder highlight. I wish this was a powder highlight personally, just like a really creamy powder highlight, but these are pretty. Can you tell the difference between the two? You definitely don't need both of these. Let's pick one. Let me do an overlay on my phone so you can see. Sweet Cheeks, Simply Shy. Sweet Cheeks is definitely a little brighter. Let's see. I want you to see the texture here, which is there, but I feel like it's looking better as it's settling into the skin, honestly. Pretty. Okay, let me clean my cheeks off and we'll get to the next round. Okay, Fresh Mauve is one of the ones that I ordered using the new BK Beauty 116 brush. This one I think is going to give you a glowier finish, more of that balmy look from what I can tell. Yeah. Well, it's not really balmy. I kid. I think this one has like a little bit of extra glow to it compared to those first two, but nah, it blended out to matte. Not in a bad way, by the way. I think it looks really nice. This looks particularly blurred with this brush. Wow. Okay, applied with the 116 for BK Beauty. That was such a stunning, seamless application. Ooh, I think this one might be my favorite blush. Let's see what we think of the highlight. I want to try it with this brush. It just applied so good. No, too sheer. So this one does leave a cast on me, leaves a lot of color. But obviously, I think if you have like medium skin tone, you will be fine. It's also not as glowy on my skin because of that deeper shade. But this one feels creamier than the other highlighters. Honestly, this for me is more of like a glowy blush topper to put on top. And it's quite pretty, but you can see it just doesn't have that reflect. But it also looks more seamless on my skin. It's not attaching itself to dry patch at all. This one might be my favorite. It's not a highlighter by any means on me, but that's super pretty. It's very corally, even though they say it's mauve. It's not giving mauve to me. But I like this, especially if you have a medium complexion. I think that's gonna be super pretty. Let me clean off this brush. Flirty Flush is next. Oh, this one scares me. She's vibrant. Okay. Good buildable formula. I like the formula. Buildable from 0 to 100 though. Let me work on working this out. This one is super vibrant. Got a little patchy here. Maybe I'm pressing too hard. Let me go a little softer. Yeah, don't press too hard. It's working out my foundation. But that's just in general, not about this product. Okay, this is giving NARS orgasm. Just gonna, on me, not a highlight, but these are close in depth levels, which I think is interesting. They didn't make the depth levels in these darker shades too different from one another. Again, you can't really see the glow quite as much. You can see that gold shift a little bit. I still think it's very pretty. Let's pull out the camera. So we have Fresh Mauve here, Flirty Flush here, very vibrant, not directed towards my skin tone, of course, so I'd hope it would be vibrant. But you can definitely see the color differences very, very well between these two, and you'll see not a dry patch in sight, which I think is interesting. You know what I need to try? Hold on. Wait, get one more look here. Let me see if it's just the highlights in the first two. So I'm going back into Sweet Cheeks. No, this is applying more buttery than that first time. Strange. I guess because it's lighter, it is emphasizing dryness a little bit more, but it's not bad. I feel like that layering kind of helped added an extra layer of hydration. But by nature, with it being lighter, it is attracted more to emphasizing some texture, but it's not bad, at least right now. Okay. Last two colors, Flustered and Vamped. So this one's Flustered. Let's see. Like they say there's two different finishes, but I just see the one matte one. Like the first application of this, whew, it's so stunning. And then the second you add that second layer, it's like bam. That's very pretty. Let's do the second layer like you see. It really builds up quickly, which I think is awesome. Okay. Then let's get into the highlight here. This one is a little bit more contrast than the previous two. That one's pretty. Can you see? So that does add a pretty little zhuzh to the look. But again, the highlights aren't my cup of tea here. Not a bad cup of tea, but like I want to put a powder highlight over it. Okay, the last one is Vamped. I'm excited to try this one. As you can see, the blushes are all very blushy, flushy, warm, pinky, peachy. Definitely would have loved more of like some brown based or plummy based highlight, or not highlights, blushes, which I feel like a lot of brands are doing. This one, you can definitely build it up to get more of this vampy mahogany color, but it does blend out to be very, very warm. Okay, and then this icy peach highlight, which, oh, strong cast on me. No highlight going on here. So for me, this one is almost more of a blush, but it does add that pretty glow. I like the deeper highlighters a little bit better, honestly. For me, I think they're more flattering. Not as highlights, but just all over the cheeks. Okay, so now that I've tried all 6, the feelings of the formula, right? I feel like these truly are a cream to powder dry down. It thins out so much on the face that even if it doesn't dry down, it feels like it does because it's that thin and airy and lightweight, which is awesome. The highlights are even thinner, but they stay creamier than the blushes. Not my cup of tea for highlights. Let me show you. Flustered, Vamped. You know what, on here, Flustered looks really nice. I say one thing and then I feel like I turn on this camera and I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. So if you're familiar with Natasha Denona cheek colors, I wanted to pull out a few different blush palettes to compare the formulations so you kind of have a better idea of what you're walking into. So if you have the My Dream Cheek Trio, none of the new formulas are like anything in here. This cream blush definitely is more powdery. This glow cream base is more gel-like, more creamy, more sheer, more wet, more metallic. And this Dream Glow, there's just not one in there like that. So those are very different. The Berry Pop Cheek Trio, again, this cream blush is truly much more powder. I talked about the new formulation feeling like it dries into a powder, but it does truly start off feeling more creamy and wet than anything Natasha Denona has. This is a different formula and this is a different formula, but I just wanted to share that this is much more powdery. I also pulled the Love Glow cheek palette from a few years ago from their holiday, well, which one was it? Valentine's Day collection. Nothing in here is like anything formulation-wise that you'll get. And then this is kind of an OG, a little bit more for my followers who have been around longer and fans of Natasha Denona. I knew keeping a hold of this was a good idea in my declutter. The Diamond and Blush palette. These were so good, but they are very, very chunky. Now, not a highlight formula like this. I would say when it comes to the highlight formulas that Natasha Denona has in the new ones, these are truly a new formulation than what she's done before. Now, this blush, I was curious. So this blush in this palette feels more dry. Maybe that's due to age, but it has more of like a clay-like, putty-like formulation. So I'm kind of taking back where I said this feels putty-like. It's a little bit because it starts off with that matte looking layer over top, but as you dig in, it is truly much more creamy than you'd expect, but as you blend it out, it thins out really nicely, which gives it that almost matte dry down. And as I've been trying to explain this highlight formulation, it does feel like a cream as well, but it feels even thinner. And I think personally it needs to be a little bit more glowy. It is more on the subtle side with all of the shades that I have today. So overall thoughts, are these worth the $42? In my personal opinion, maybe like one. This is definitely not a line that I feel like it's necessary to own all of the shades, because at the end of the day, I feel like all of them give a similar kind of blushy, flushy look. You know, go for the undertones, go for the highlights that appeals to you the most, that would match your skin tone the best, but they all give a similar effect on the cheek. I like the blush formulation. I think the blush formulation is pretty unique as a blush can be for the market, and how it really blends out, shears out really easily, but also builds up so quickly. How it just fuses into the foundation to make the layer look really thin and not like you're layering on product. As a non-cream highlight person, I'm really not one to say too much about it, but it's not a bad cream highlight from what I've experienced, but it also isn't knocking my socks off. In a lot of cases, a lot of these colors, I do feel as though it's a little dull, but it still looks pretty from afar. You know, the glow is still pretty. It's not a bad product, but had I not gotten these in PR for every shade and was still doing this review just with the 2 shades that I bought, I would not be running out to purchase more of them, but I would certainly be very happy with the ones that I had. So you guys know, no matter what, even if my favorite brand ever sends me PR, I'm not going to BS ya. I'm going to tell you how it is. So I hope you guys found this review helpful. I think at the end of the day, There are just so many blushes on the market. This isn't something that you need to run out and buy, but I think it's a good formula, and if you love Natasha, you want to support the brand, I don't think you'd be disappointed with it, but I think you'd be disappointed if you purchased all of them because they're expensive and they'll add up quickly. So if you guys enjoyed this review and found it helpful, let me know your thoughts down below, and I will have the links if you are interested in purchasing them or just want to check out the pages. I'll have them down below for you guys, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.
It's delicious.